What's up, guys? Roller Chris here. I'm just doing a short video about head studs, ARP head studs. One thing I want to tell you guys is after a few heat cycles with the ARP head studs, they tend to come a little loose, either from vibration, boost, all motor settings. Not so much, doing all motor, but if you're running boost, a high RPM, a lot of vibration, I recommend you guys retorque your head studs, the ARP ones, after a couple weeks of on and off heat cycles. I really highly recommend it. You will find some that are loose, mostly on the exhaust side of the head. So I'm going to show you guys a little something real quick. All right, here's my head. Now ARP will give you two different answers. Sometimes they will tell you to retorque it, that it's better and it's extra safety. It's a recommendation. Sometimes they'll tell you you do not need it. But from my experience, from all the high revving boost, getting on it, they always back out after a while. So I do recommend to retorque the head studs after, it could be a couple weeks, a month or so of driving, a lot of heat cycles. The gasket does shrink down a bit, or I don't know, it could be the bolts, stretching back up from the, the head, because it's aluminum, the block's iron, who knows. But there's some reason behind it. But, also could be from vibration. So just always torque those head studs down. All right off the bat, number one of the head studs is loose. I forgot what number this one was loose as well. And this one was loose, but these last corner ones were only like, I say 20 degrees and a turn off from 85 foot-pounds of torque, which my studs are. So I wish I had someone to record while I was doing it, but just to show you guys, they do come loose. All right, so just go back in there. It only takes like 30 minutes, pull the little covers off and the gear, and just torque everything down. You can be losing some power or pushing some coolant into the reservoir. Anything, pushing oil out, just go through it, all right? Trust me on this. And when you're done, guys, put your torque wrench back to 0. Don't leave it on 60 foot-pounds for standard 10mm ARP head studs, or 85 for me, who is oversized head studs. Put it back to 0, because if you don't and you go back future to go torque your head down, you're going to get an inaccurate reading. It's not going to be accurate, it's going to be false, it's going to be off because you left the spring compressed and it's just not calibrated right. So please always put it back to 0. And as far as the torquing down, just give it a shot, guys. Just go through it. People are going to make fun of you and tell you you're stupid. You don't need to torque the head down again. You're going to hear a bunch of nonsense. Just always go with your 4D. Sometimes you got to be hardcore, man. You got to take care of them 4AGs because they're old, they're ancient, they're fun, they make great sounds, they're awesome to drive. So you just got to take a lot of care and patience into the car. Also, another thing, if you're torquing the head down for the first time, make sure you do it in 3 steps, 20 foot-pounds, 40 foot-pounds, 60 foot-pounds. But in between each set of series, after 20 pounds, let it sit for 15-20 minutes. And then do 40 pounds, let it sit for another 15 minutes. Then do 60 pounds, set for another 15-20 minutes as well. That's another thing I like to do. It's probably not necessary, but it just calms me down because I know it gives a little squish on the gasket for a while before you go for another set of torquing. So I got a few people asking me to do a video on the Honda harness converted to the 16 valve. I really didn't want to do a video, and I don't plan on really doing a video. I have a few reasons why. Sorry for the glare. The thing is, the standalone is far easier to do. It's just wiring up to your sensors, existing other things. The thing with the Honda is, because we had a street shop called Gully Garage, we had Honda parts for days. I'm talking anywhere we had just harnesses and parts. Next door to us, we had a fabricating shop. Next door to us was a water jet place where they can cut metal with water jet and computers and all this fancy equipment. So we had a lot of access to doing it. Now, as for the 20 valve, a lot of you out there can actually do the 20 valve and experiment doing the 20 valve. But if it comes to the 16 valve, it's a little bit harder because you have a lot of customizing parts to do for the Dizzy. Some people put onto the cam gear that looks sloppy and stupid to me. Some guys get away with it and make it look cool. I've seen one guy done on the cam gear. It looks cool, but most people do it just looks terrible. It's abomination. I mean, people tell me my car's abomination already because it's half Honda, but for me, it was at the time I had the resources. We had parts everywhere. We did it for a very moderate, cheap price. compared to the customers that we've actually did the setup for. It costs of money, it costs almost as much as the standalone. So it's better to just have the standalone than to have the Honda harness. Some guys can get away with it in the Caribbean islands because they have so much custom fabricators around. They can make that stuff. Some guys are out there right now listening to me say, "Oh, I can do it. I can do it." No, you can't if you don't have the resources around you to do it. Otherwise, it'll just be a headache. You'll be left customizing parts to adapt to your stock intake manifold just so the Honda TPS and map can work, because it can't work with another throttle position. So other things can be, you know, fabricated, but when it comes to the most important thing is the dizzy and the mounting the Honda throttle on there. But if you want to go out there and try it and put yourself through a headache, you can be my guest. But for those who don't have those people access to fabricators, custom shops around like we do, just go with the standalone. It's just a lot easier. It's peace of mind. You don't get frustrated. You're not slamming parts. You know, you don't start the car and the dizzy shaft snaps because you didn't balance it right, or you didn't, you know, or it's too solid. It can be a lot of errors. So I really don't recommend it. We used to do it for people. We don't do anymore because they would take the car apart, the dizzy, or, you know, and then sell the car off to someone else, and then someone else couldn't figure it out, and then they sold the car, and it just happened to co-people. So they try to come back to us, and we're like, well, you guys changed and totally messed up the whole thing. But I'm not really doing a video on it. I know everyone's, oh, come on, roll up, give us a video, but I recommend just doing the standalone. It's the top of the line thing you can do for engine management. I mean, the Honda's right up there, but it's just more peace of mind. You know, you guys can get the coil packs on your 4AGs. Just get a standalone. Haltech, I recommend. I love the Haltech on the 4Gs. We did a couple 16 valve red tops 300, which is Haltech, you know. But I can't make the video, guys. I mean, it's just too much of a hassle to do. You know, people say make a plug-and-play kit. We've thought about making a plug-and-play kit to send out to people, you know, based in your car and wire them. But then if you wire it up wrong, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to time the dizzy, you know, I can make an instruction manual. We thought about it, but it's just easier for us to do it with the car here. So maybe somebody else out there wants to make a fabricating kit or a universal kit. Hey, go ahead, you know, but it can be a pain in the butt if someone tries to put together with instructions or break something. They're going to come back to you saying, oh, you built me something bad. So, yeah, on that, sorry, guys. I mean, don't mean to break your heart. But if you want to go out there and experiment, go ahead, be my guest. If you're a shop and you have all these parts sitting around and fabricators, like I said, for the 1,000th time, go ahead. You know, you'll figure it out eventually. But those out there who have nothing around them, just their average Joe mechanic, go standalone. All right, guys, just want to say one more thing before I leave. You know, God bless you guys. You know, the days are almost near. The Lord Messiah, Jesus Christ, is coming back. So I just want you guys to keep your eyes open, man. You know, you should see what's going on in the Mecca right now. You should see what's going on all over the world. You know, Trump just fulfilled a prophecy, gave Jerusalem back to Israel. We have the temple coin with Trump on it now with King Cyrus. So if you guys know your prophecy, you know, days are almost over. We're having a time now where the Antichrist should be coming soon once that temple is built, which Trump gave Jerusalem back to Israel. In that matter of that happening, they have the rights to build this third temple, and that's the temple of the abomination desolation comes, which is the Antichrist. So time is almost out, guys. So I mean, I know don't really talk much about the Lord in my videos, but I want to start putting some more stuff out there. Open you guys' eyes, take a look, because sometimes we got to get our minds off cars and start focusing on the Lord sometimes. So please read your Bible, stay in the Word. If some of you are reading the Word, you know, try to not break the commandments, try to please the Lord, you know. And on the side, when you have nothing to do after you've done His will, just work on your cars. Well, other guys, roll Chris out. Be safe. God bless. Don't crash, because some of y'all ain't saved. So I pray for y'all. And thanks for following my channel.